You can call me Terry, Mom.
I think it's a very easy question for me to answer. I was born in the 80s. I spent most of my childhood in the 90s. As you can see, I started out wanting to make a very sincere, very genuine film. No pretense, you know, it's just something that's really coming from the heart. And obviously, it's very natural to set it in the era where I grew up. You know, that's the 90s. It's the period that I know well enough. And I was very obsessed about getting that period right. And of course, you know, it's set with the backdrop of the 1997 Asian financial crisis. I remember that very well because my father was a sales manager and he lost his job during the financial crisis. So I think it's very much inspired by a lot of memories from childhood, and you know, it's just a very, very sincere, genuine story told from the heart. It was like a military operation, you know, because everything is so close to my heart. You know, there were a lot of things, the references were from a lot of childhood photographs, a lot of colors, textures, places were lodged in my head. You know, the HDB flat that you see is the exact layout of the HDB flat with a balcony. It's 5A or something like that was built in the 80s. And so we went to the HDB website, download the data, circle out all those 5A units with a balcony, and you know, mark out all that were shot in the 80s. And basically, I had a whole team, 3 interns that went around Singapore. They knock on over 500 blocks of flats, give out a lot of flyers, and then, "Auntie, can I come in and see your flat?" You know, like there's this kind of flat that my director really likes. So we did that for a long time. Yeah.
Tell us about the grills.
Yeah, you know, if you look at the window grills, it's the window grills from that period. You know, my interns were, you know, they were driven so mad by me, you know, because I have very high expectations that they call them like Anthony's grills. Every time they just the person will like open the door and then, oh, cannot take photo, I'll come in, and then they'll look, oh, window cannot. So they'll just go.
What about the computers? The computers had to look like they were from 1997.
Yeah. The mother's office was exactly how I remembered my mother's office, you know, when I visited it when I was young. I drove 3 days with an intern, 3 days in Tuas. I knocked on every factory, you know, every company. A lot of security guards chased me away. You know, some receptionists. So no. It's very hard. You know, it's quite film unfriendly. You know, Singapore. And eventually, I found this space that had the atmosphere, but all the computers were new. So we actually went to some Karang Kuni that had working computers from the past. You know, CPUs and all that. We redressed all that. Yeah, the art department was saying, they said, "Oh yeah, just one computer, mother's computer needs to be working, right? The rest can be fake, right? Don't need all the monitor." I said, "No, all of them need to be working."
What about the rooftop scene where the jailer and the domestic worker, they go up to the roof and look at the view from the roof? Where was that?
That was in Teban Gardens. In fact, you know, as we speak now, that whole place has been boarded up, and I think they are gonna demolish it in a few months. So a lot of these locations, they are literally disappearing, and I tried very hard to make a film that was very, very authentic and truthful to that period. As much as I could, you know, if you spend your time, you know, like picking flaws, you know, oh, this one not right, that one not right, you know, obviously you probably could, but we tried our best.